And we're live. Hey, everybody. It is Dana from the Runny Drink Podcast at runnydrink.net. Welcome to week 8, day 1. Week 8, you ask. Didn't we just have race day? Well, we did. As we talked about in the Galloway Easy 5K program, week 7 is actually your race week. And we accomplished that with time to spare if you were going right along with us. This week is all about maintaining the progress that you've made, keeping your good habits going, and showing you kind of the easy path to what the next steps might be, whether that's going to be improving your 5K time or taking on a longer distance. So today's run is a really simple one. Much like all of our training runs previously, it's going to be a 20-minute training run with a 3-minute warm-up and a 3-minute cool down on each end. And we're going to be doing the nice and easy 5-second run, 25-second walk segment. So let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and start my watch here so that I am able to track what I'm doing, know what my intervals are going to be. I hope everybody's having a great day. If you're jumping into the chat, say hi, tell me who you are, where you're from. I can see when you're in, I just can't see who you are until you drop a comment, and I will do my best to keep up with comments as much as I can while I'm running. So let's see, do workout, and there we go. Let's see, hello everybody, and begin workout. So we got a 3-minute warm up right now. Let's get moving. If you notice in the background, I've got some clouds building, so I'm kind of not wanting to waste time and hopefully knock that out before they come in this way. Currently here in Florida, we are in the, summer is kicking off with a vengeance. So it's about 87 degrees, super high humidity. Feels like temperature is 106 as we're doing this. So it'll be a warm one today. I hope everybody's having a great day. I am super excited to be able to be doing this. I'm glad that we're over the hump of accomplishing our goal for race day. That was a great run that we did up in Tampa at Richard's Father's Day 5K family run walk, supporting the Moffitt Cancer Center. And it was such a great bit of news to hear from Richard Gonsmart himself at the opening ceremony that event raised $110,000. Just such a great event, great people, and a worthy cause. Moffitt Cancer Center does amazing cutting-edge work. In addition to treating people who come from all over the world for treatment, they're also doing, research. So amazing stuff there. So the next step is going to be deciding on what we're going to do. We've gotten tremendously positive feedback about doing this kind of a series, helping some people find some motivation. And I know what it's like. You have a long day at work, you're coming home, you still got that run to do, and you're like, oh man, I don't feel like doing it today. And I was so thrilled to find out that there are at least a few of you out there that might not be able to catch this when we go live, and that's totally okay, but that are doing this on playback, and you're telling me that knowing that I'm out here doing these runs is at least giving you the motivation to not skip your run. And you know what? I'll take it. Because like I said at the very outset of this, not a coach, not saying do this exact program, just kind of giving you a baseline or something you could look at doing. And of course, consult your physician, make sure that they're okay with you taking on an exercise program. And then if you like this one, great. But if not, and you're doing something else, maybe different intervals, maybe not intervals at all. Maybe you're one of those amazing runners that doesn't need or like to do run, walk, run. That's okay too. As long as I'm helping you get off the couch. That was the main thrust. And we're about to start our first interval. And again, we're doing just the simple 5-second interval, 25-second walk. So we'll have a grand total today, since each combination is 30 seconds. We'll have a grand total of 40 segments that we're going to be doing. And for me, on this street It's basically an out and back, which is really convenient. And as you guys know, hey Trip, how are you? Glad to see you. Glad you could join. This weekend, of course, since this is the last week of the 8-week program, we're going to be doing the training run on Saturday. That training run on Saturday is another 5K. And like we've done in the past, leading up to race day, we didn't actually run any of them. We're going to be doing that one live from Disney. We're heading up this weekend to do one of our virtual race series from Disney. And we're going to be doing the exact same thing. So 2 weekends in a row, we'll be doing the 5-second run, 25-second walk. And I think that Amy and I settled on doing that event around the lake at Disney's Boardwalk. The lake there has a measured running track or running path, and it works out to, I believe, 0.8 miles around. So basically 4 laps around the lake, and we'll have a 5K medal to show for it. And we're taking the race to Disney. And it's always a lot of fun when we're doing, whether it's the Disney Virtual Series or some of the amazing medals from Medal Chasers when we're doing their virtuals. They did that great Marvel series. When we take those to Disney and people see us walking with the medals, or maybe we have our bibs on, because if I'm going to do one and we're going to take it there, I prefer to have the whole experience. I want to wear my bib, and I'm going to celebrate in the park with my medal. I mean, you have to, right? And you always get the questions, did the races come back? Did the races come back? So it's kind of fun to say, no, we brought them back. So, hey, Run Disney, if you're listening, people are hungry for those in-person race experiences. Give the people what they want. Right now, I want some air conditioning. I had another wildlife encounter. As I was coming out, I saw this thing laying up by my car, and I thought that maybe our lawn guy might have hit, I don't know, a seed from a palm tree. And I went to pick it up and realized it was another turtle. A few weeks ago, rescued a little baby turtle out here. Well, this one might be the smallest one I've ever run across. So I poured some water on him and got him hydrated because he was feeling a little warm to the touch. And he flipped over, so I'm guessing a bird tried to get him, and he either was too big for the bird's mouth or he gave the bird something to think about, and the bird dropped him. So got him back into the canal so he could maybe live to fight another day. It's been pretty tame on the wildlife front here lately. Tons of bunnies. And as you guys know, the site formerly known as Shade on the street, construction's coming along. Well, all under these blocks and under this industrial dumpster is a warren of baby bunnies. And I mean a lot of them. And every morning when I get my morning miles in, thanks to the 75 hard challenge, the dogs love checking them out because I started incorporating the dog walk in the morning with getting that 45-minute run in to tire them out. And that's worked out really, really well. No misbehavior, no errant destruction. All good. So, if you guys are planning on doing week 8's run, the long run this weekend, the 5K, I would love for you to drop in the comments. Let me know that you're doing it. And this is whether you're watching live or on playback. Let me know, what did you run in terms of your, or what are you going to run in terms of your interval? And are you doing a real live in-person race, a virtual, or just something in the neighborhood? I'd be really curious. You never know what you're going to see. It's a warm one today. I don't know what kind of music you would call that. But it'd be my luck, I'm going to get a takedown notice because it's copyrighted. I had to laugh. I actually got one for the video for the race the other day. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, as it turns out, the national anthem that was played, I'm sure with full licensing and permission of the publisher at this public event inside of a public park, is a copyrighted work. So I had to roll the dice on that one and say, I think that that's going to fall under fair use. So I may not, if at any point you go back and you watch Saturday's video, if the first minute and 18 seconds are muted, it's because Facebook said, yeah, that's not fair use. We're muting that part. I mean, they were at least very gracious about it in their robot that determined there was copyrighted music. But it was very unexpected to get that kind of a warning for that. Typically in Tampa, I think what you almost always hear when you have a big event and they're going to play the national anthem, I mean, almost exclusively for almost 30 years, if you're going to hear the national anthem played at a big event in Tampa and it's pre-recorded, it's almost always Whitney Houston's version from, I forget which Super Bowl, the one and only one that she sung at in Tampa back in the early 90s. So I was a little surprised that they didn't pick that one. And I figured, oh, since I hadn't heard that specific one, maybe that's a local artist they pre-recorded. No, Jennifer Hudson. Like, oh, great. Gonna get dinged for that. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Yeah, I mean, she's rocking out with the music there, and it was a pretty cool trike she's riding. And that family, that's the family with the big Great Dane on the block, and a really nice Jeep Wrangler. And here we go. We're at the turnaround point. And we're at literally the halfway point in terms of the Rottweiler in the back of that Jeep there. We're at the turnaround point and 20 intervals in out of 40. I'm hopeful that as we've gone through this, you guys have seen the main goal is not to kill yourself during that run interval, but to be at a brisk pace while still being able to carry on a conversation. Tripp, I know you said you were running like Forrest Gump, but that's extra credit. And I think that if you guys want to see what the Faster 5K program looks like, we could do that one next. And you might be surprised to find out that increasing that 5K or increasing your performance in the 5K doesn't necessarily mean running like Forrest Gump. You know, minor things like increasing your turnover rate, but shrinking the size of your stride can have huge impacts and make you faster, all while preserving your energy, reducing fatigue, mitigating the likelihood of you getting an injury. Because Jeff Galloway always talks about wanting to run till you're 100 injury-free, because he is not a fan of injuries. He also always jokes when he does a talk at a race, he'll say he's not a fan of puking. I concur. And you don't want to push yourself to the point of heat exhaustion or, gasping for air, and then you end up getting, air in your stomach and you burp and it turns into something else. That's no good. Well, hey, Rhonda, welcome. Aha, Faster 5K. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I may have to enlist Amy's help for some of the camera work, for some of the drills, because I'd like to actually show you guys the drills as opposed to just kind of bouncy camera on the fat guy running down the road. So, if we can do that, I can show you what the drills look like, and you can kind of visualize the drill that Jeff has brought to all of us through his books, his talks, his running clinics, and his research. Yeah, I gotta put her to work on the camera. I mean, some of that might end up being maybe better suited for editing, like demoing it, shooting like a quick little 30-second or 1-minute video, upload that, and then show you guys that video on the day of the scheduled run, and then just have this. We'll have to see how that goes. All right. Whew. Just a joke with Amy. Why in the world we would start our running season in November for the Wine and Dine Half Marathon, which means it necessitates training beginning in like July. And you would think that after growing up in the state and training in the state, that I would be acclimated at least to the point of not bitching at least once every video. Today is not that day. It's kind of like running to Mordor, so you can feel the volcano. Forrest Gump was because I stopped to change shoes. Oh, yeah, I hear you. But don't kill yourself. Like I said, you'll be shocked at how good your time ends up being with just small intervals. And it was a few years ago where they had the massive heat wave at the Boston Marathon. And they were advising runners to incorporate walk breaks into their runs because it was an insane heat index. I mean, it had a real temperature that was really high, and then bad heat index. So basically, a Tuesday here in Florida. Training for dopey. You dopey runners. I'll tell you what. 5K. What is that one? That's the 5K half and full. We've done the 5K at Avengers out in California. We did the 5K, the 10K, and the half. And I'll tell you, it was phenomenal. One of my favorite race weekends of all time. I have never been so perpetually tired and sore as I was on that weekend. It was just awful because your feet don't get a break. It's like right now, doing the 75 hard challenge. Amy and I are keeping each other on task with the small stuff like the daily selfie and the 10 pages of reading. And we both do our morning workout at the same time together. She's been trying to get her second workout of the day in at lunch when she can. But the hardest part of that is, since I'm electing to do more out on the road, my feet are howling, and I haven't made it to the run shop yet to get my new shoes. And I'm actually considering giving a different model of Brooks a try. I have been a diehard fan of the Brooks Addictions. That's their motion control running/walking shoe. Well, apparently they've got one more that is even more motion control-y. It's not really a word, but you get the meaning. And it has a wider toe box. So I'm thinking that may help a little bit with some of the pain and blistering. But whew, man, oh man. Let's see. Ooh, I have 3 more segments left, and then we go into the 3-minute cool down. So I'm going to give those a try. And this is the part where I always joke about people who go, "Oh, running, a nice inexpensive hobby. It just costs you a pair of shoes. No big deal." Yeah, right. That's how they get you. It's the running shoe mafia. So I'm looking at the Beasts. That's their super motion control shoe. And even with the really competitive pricing we get from our run shop here, those are about $150. So I hope they're worth it. The beauty of it is you get a great store like the run shop here in Cape Coral. Rachel will let you take the shoes, go run on them, try them out. If you don't like it, if they don't work for you, bring them back. I did that with Hoka's because as much as I liked them for distances of 5K and below, Hoka's were killing me. And here we are, cool down. Yeah, Hoka's were kind of like strapping a cheese grater to my feet and hoping for the best. So, not a huge fan of those in any way, shape, or form for distance running for me. walking around for short distances, I could do it. Yeah, Rhonda, not a cheap hobby. Sneakers, oh well. And you could lump in kilts there. Not a cheap hobby. Kilts themselves, not a cheap hobby. Whew. Okay. I'm going to be really curious what our time ends up being today. Again, don't let the sweat fool you. The sweat's from the humidity. This was a very leisurely pace. Stayed conversational. Really not even breathing all that hard now, other than trying to cool off everything. But it is so easy to get that benefit. And that is the thing I want to drive home, because I know that hardest step is the first one out the door. I get it. Believe me, I get it. Good shoes are a must. Oh, they absolutely are. We've told the story, I think. The first time we did this, we picked up really comfortable shoes from an outlet, and they felt great in the felt great in the store. They felt great in the gym. They were, all in all, for all intents and purposes, this ought to work. Okay, get out and run on them. Shin splints, and I mean bad shin splints. So I apologize if you're hearing my phone has decided to blow up. My work's blowing up at me, so I'll have to see what that's all about in a minute. Quite literally a minute. We got like 48 seconds. So yeah, going to the run shop, getting a gait analysis done, having somebody that knows biomechanics and knows the shoes makes all the difference. If you've ever tried running and you maybe have given up because it hurt your feet so bad, bring in an old pair of shoes you got, let them see your wear pattern on your shoes, and then allow them to watch you run so they can confirm what they're seeing on the shoe. You'll be shocked at what they might steer you towards that might be totally different than what you've expected. And one of the biggest habits people have to break themselves of is buying a running shoe for looks. I mean, you can certainly find shoes that'll work for you that you like the look of, but ultimately, that is not what you're going for. You're going for comfort, and comfort not just when you're walking, but running. So anyway, we're done. That's it. What we're going to do is, I'm going to de-stinkify myself and get ready for dinner and get ready for Amy getting home. Guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out and doing the run. In the comments, let me know, what did you run? What interval did you do? How did it feel? And I will see you guys on Thursday. On Thursday, we're doing the exact same thing. And then on Saturday, live run from Disney. We'll be doing the first in our virtual race series, taking the race back to Disney. So ladies, Trip, Rhonda, thank you so much. Everybody else, if I didn't see your comment, I apologize. It's hard to read out here in the sun, but I'm looking forward to reading them later on. And drop a comment if you're watching this on playback. So I'll talk to you guys really soon. Great job.